Hi, welcome to the Cyber Show. I'm Cheri Sigmon, your host, cybersecurity authority, entrepreneur, and consultant. Today on the Cyber Show, we're going to cover three things. The first is how do you adapt in life? How agile are you? Tips and tricks that I am using currently as we speak here in August of 2020. Secondly, we're going to cover a training topic around the framework of risk management and how you can apply that to your business and helping lock down your data, your assets, and your reputation with your customers. There's a reason for that. I've been getting feedback that people want to know more about how to manage the risk, how to identify what risks are acceptable, how to reduce them, mitigate them, transfer, or otherwise just avoid them completely. And last, we'll cover up with a little bit about TikTok. You've been hearing about that in the news and the potential acquisition by Microsoft. So we've talked about this in other shows, especially recording with Dawn on behind the scenes. And we're not a fan of data collection and facial recognition and all sorts of things and other security risks associated with TikTok. So you can kind of see how that might go. I'm hoping that it would actually just be banned from US use, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so diving right into number one. For the next few weeks, my sleep schedule is going to be totally off, so I'll be adjusting fire on how I record this show for you and do other things around my life because a Global 500 client has requested that I do something in the morning on European time for about 6.5 days. So I'll be adjusting a little bit before that. During the time that I'm actually satisfying that client requirement, and then after that, adjusting back to what's new normal, if anything is normal in 2020. So it's a little bit more of a not normal type of thing, but the idea is to be agile and adaptive, and this is a lesson in life. So how you adapt is how you succeed. So in order to do things I normally do, I'm leveraging partnerships through other people, changing my schedule, leveraging my back office support team, help me work out the schedule and move things around that I previously had in schedule for other engagements and that sort of thing. So that's just one example. But what I'd like to encourage you to do is not be the department of no in whatever you're doing in life. If there's a way you can find to say yes to something, even if it means getting up at 2 a.m. in the morning, turning your life upside down even more, and making it happen so you can satisfy something for the client, just do it. That's what you do it. So it doesn't mean you have to like it, you just do it. So it's a lesson in agility, and I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I was an Air Force officer for quite a while, and you know, one thing I learned there, and I even interviewed Colonel Gia on a previous show, I served with her at the Pentagon, and one of the things I learned from her and her leadership was agility and being adaptable, and how some things are not always in scope of what somebody might expect of you, or it's negotiable. And if you go the extra mile and you're agile and adaptable, people will see that and recognize that and take that into account when they're looking at the total picture. So there's that. Moving on to number two, in response to feedback from people who want to understand more about cybersecurity, not just the tips or the current world events or threat intelligence. People who just want basic, how do I manage it? How do I manage a program? How do I have people come in and help me do this? I don't understand how to manage the risk. You know, some people are saying, well, I don't know, you know, what's an attack vector? What's an attack? How will I know if I've been breached? And what can I do about it? How do I calculate the formula for what's an acceptable, quote, acceptable risk? And, you know, I can avoid it, I can transfer it, I can mitigate it, I can accept it. And any of those type of things are up to the decision maker, the stakeholder, the key business owner, the risk committee, or the board, depending on how you have your structure set up. So in juggling schedules, it also affects the dog schedule and anybody in the household schedule. So it's another thing you have to work around. It is what it is. So back to the security controls. People have been asking me for something in terms of helping them understand that. So what I've devised is a training system where I record short videos, regardless of what my schedule is. I can drip feed these over time, whether I'm actually live doing them or not. The beauty of recording video is it's actually able to be scheduled and automated at many weeks in advance, months in advance, even up to a year. So I'm thinking of doing something along the lines of a 365, where we have a tip of the day, or a really short video clip on one specific security control that you can implement for your business or your company that help you lock things down and protect your data, protect your customers, your assets, and reputation. And I'm thinking of using something in the public domain, so there's no question about proprietary interest, and it's called the risk management framework. It's something used in the federal space in the United States through the NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, and it's been out for quite some time. There's a lot of documentation and teaching points that can be used there. And instead of having somebody get together and come sit down for a really long class who's actually doing these, I'm making a version for the consumer and the business owner, the entrepreneur or the company in the corporate world to actually have your people understand it one step at a time. Taking each family of security controls by category, breaking those down to a granular level and looking at each security control, explaining what it is, what can be applied, the types of things that can be used to support that, and how you can execute and implement that to better manage your risk, whatever that looks like for you. So over the next several weeks, possibly months, depending on how long it goes, I'm going to be decomposing the framework, looking at the entire catalog of security controls, and making short, not hour-long, but short videos on each of those to help you understand. And that's in response to feedback. So by doing short training video clips, such as I'm talking about, on each of the security controls within the family of controls that support the NIST risk management framework, as an example of a public domain framework that I can teach you on that will help serve you, that's the plan. And I'm thinking 365 days. It may not be 365 days in a row, but it will be content that will be dripped, actually, because there are actually more than 365 controls in the catalog. So I'll work out the details of that, but the idea is in response to feedback for requests of understanding security, understanding cybersecurity and how to manage risk using frameworks, or any other way that I can train people on practical, actionable things that you can do to protect your business and your clients. That's what people are looking for. So that's what I'm going to be giving to you in the next several months. And yes, I have a wiener dog who wants to participate in the cyber show, but she is banned just like TikTok. Well, not quite yet. That's a great segue to topic number 3, talking about TikTok before we wrap for this morning. President Trump had said that he was considering banning TikTok from use in the U.S. because of national security concerns. And we've addressed the national security concerns in other shows, and there are very severe national security concerns. TikTok is banned from federal workers and workspaces and contractors and military for obvious reasons. Won't go to all the details, but the fact that it's operated by the Chinese Communist Party and it's nothing more than a data collection platform for Chinese intelligence should kind of give it away. And, without going into the details of the facial recognition and the data, the massive data collection and the huge databases and how that can be leveraged for ill will and nefarious actions. No need to go into all the details. It's just a bad idea. If you're a U.S. citizen, using TikTok is a bad idea. So now Microsoft is making a bid to potentially acquire the company and make it a quote American company, not just have a face cover of quote an American CEO who reports to Beijing, but completely selling out and making it an American company. So we're actually following that very closely here with Cyber Show and our partnership with Dawn as well. She likes to talk about TikTok quite a bit. You may catch a previous episode that Dawn and I did together. It's hosted only on Millionaire Flicks at Behind the Scenes with Dawn and Cheri. She hosts a show on there called Security Everything. And I host the Cyber Show, which has select episodes on there as well. And only on Millionaire Flicks can you get behind the scenes with Dawn and Cheri. We go into very, very good detail about a lot of things, technical detail on cybersecurity, tips of the day, and we talk back and forth and collaborate on real world situations and solve problems. And one of those episodes recently was all about TikTok. So check out that if you're interested. Go to millionaireflix.com. Check it out. So in closing, today on the Cyber Show, we've covered number 1, agility and being adaptable in life and business. 2, how to use systems to automate and leverage ways to move forward with your risk management program. And 3rd, I introduced a training program where I'm going to be giving you free content on how to use security controls and families of security controls one by one over a series of short videos over the next at least 365 days. And we concluded with a little bit about TikTok, why it's considering being banned in the U.S. by the current administration, and why it's been addressed in the past and in the future shows. We'll cover all the technical details, but in the past, we've talked about it on Behind the Scenes as well as the Cyber Show with the reasons why, if you care about your data and your data privacy or your facial recognition or anything about your life, please don't use any application, no matter if it's TikTok or another one. Please don't use any application that has pretty much carte blanche to collect all the data about you and use it for whatever purposes. So really be careful about reading the agreements that you sign when you sign up for apps, what apps have permissions to, and know who's behind the app. what intelligence collective is behind it, what their nefarious purposes may be, why you're giving them access to XYZ, and if you really want to do that. Don't just click blindly and accept. Read the fine print. All right, that's it. Thanks for stopping by the Cyber Show. We covered on 3 short topics today. If you have any other questions, I'll respond to the feedback, just like adding the training on the security controls as a response to feedback. If you have other ideas, please let me know, and I'll generate content on the Cyber Show or through some other medium to satisfy that requirement and that need that you have that I didn't know of before. All right, thanks again for stopping by the Cyber Show. I'm Cheri Sigmon, your host, signing off from the Carolinas. I will catch you on the flip side.